Hey guys, I'm DeetsNutz, aka Too Tall.
And I'm Joey Pucks. Welcome to Film Room. This is a new series that DeetsNutz and I are co-producing. And the idea here is that you're going to see simultaneous gameplay, and we're going to be talking through decisions that we make in various games. Today, in episode 1, we're looking at Apex Legends. All right, so let's get into it right away here. We are dropping into Relay, and if you see on the screen right now, in the top left corner, you see DeetsNutz. That's his footage. In the bottom right, that's my footage. It's all linked up so you can see exactly what we're seeing at the same time. And, dropping in our usual places here in Relay, and we'll get to that in a second, but right away, we hear our third teammate, Drunk Monk, call out that he's got pressure on him. So in the right-hand corner you're seeing right now, I'm getting my first two guns that I see, and I'm going to rotate to help him out and support him.
And I'm basically doing the same. We try and split up our drops here so we don't share the same loot. I'm grabbing as much as I can and get in there as quick as I can. They get a quick 2 downs, or 1 down over there pretty quick. So I'm just able to sneak in here, get a couple bullets on them, and that's it. That's that first squad down.
Yeah, so let me ask you, I think it'll be helpful for the viewers to understand. When you're looting, right, so you know that I'm rotating because I probably called out and said, hey, I'm coming to help. And your thought process is you're reading the what? You're reading the kill feed to see how we're doing in that engagement, so you know, hey, I got to be faster, or I have time, I can actually maybe pick a gun that's actually good as opposed to picking up dual Mozambiques.
Yeah, I mean, we're lucky here. We have 3 guys sharing a microphone, so we can hear the call-outs. I can look at the kill feed. I didn't hear too many curses, so I knew things were going relatively enough. So I took an extra level there to make sure I got some armor. You know, I could be a little more useful when I got into the gunfight.
Right. All right, cool. So the rest of this, we're going to speed through this next section here, folks. But Nuts, let's talk a little bit about, we land Relay for a particular reason. It's a high loot area, first of all, and it's also kind of small enough where we can loot pretty quickly, as the folks are seeing right here.
Yeah, it's a fun zone. We're typically pretty aggressive. We like to drop early, and one of our favorite spots is Relay. It offers a lot of good loot, fun firefights. It's kind of a fun zone. So we happen to pick that zone. We ran into one team, and one team only, which is actually kind of rare. And then we kind of got lucky here. I mean, normally we make our way to the west here. As you see, we're outside artillery now. Typically, you might be picking up a team here, getting into engagement. And the reason we're doing this is we start in the northeast corner. We already know we're clear on our 6 here, so we're going to kind of carve out the northern side of the map here for us and kind of clear our baffles as we make our way.
Yeah, I think that's an important thing to keep in mind, right? I mean, we try to strike a balance between playing to win, but also playing for engagement. So I personally like to rotate the way that we did it here in the video, because sometimes you'll catch a team coming out of artillery, or you'll run into a gunfight that's maybe sort of prolonged, then you can clean up some kills.
Yeah, so we started making our way south a little bit. We saw a lifeline drop pod. You know, those are dead giveaways. Hey, there's a squad there. Usually we see engagement, we go for it. So we started making our way there. I happened to kind of poke over to Watchtower to see if anything was going on. We happen to see a crew there. So what you're seeing now is us kind of trying to link back up here. I didn't take a shot. You know, you don't want to start firing off shots to let everybody know where you're at. Try and get your numbers. Try and get the advantage. And that's what we're doing right now. We're trying to link up right here, and then make our way over to Watchtower to see if we can get into this engagement.
Yeah, I mean, I took a route around the way there just to basically do some intel gathering and see if we ran into anybody. We saw the drop pod, so we spread out. We covered some ground, but didn't stray too far. We're always kind of within a reasonable distance where if I was to have gotten pinched there, you guys were in a position to come over and support, and likewise, I wouldn't be leaving you guys hanging out to dry.
Yeah, I think it's always important. You know, we play aggressive. We try to get into an engagement, but you really want to be, it's either a one-on-one battle, or you want to be that third party. You want to be that fourth party. You don't want to be the guys that just jump in, and the next thing you know, you're surrounded by 2 teams. So as we're making our way over here, we notice that drop pod's coming in. So there's actually somebody being recovered. So if things work out, which is the way they do, this one and only team is actually having a fresh recruit dropping in with no armor. So I'm scouting out to the top here to kind of look around, see if I can find somebody. Pucks is doing something similar, and our teammate, Drunk Monk, is actually kind of behind us. I think he's looting. He's kind of he's always looting, so he may end up stumbling on somebody here. And here's what
right now. So on the audio, you'll hear I make the call out, and the 3 of us pretty much converge right on this guy. I mean, he's really got nowhere to go. He's by himself. It's a relatively easy encounter to deal with, and we get the knock, and that's important information, right? You got to be sensitive to, is that a knock? Is it a straight elim? So right now we're on hyper alert, right? We just killed this one guy. He doesn't have any loot. Kind of came out of nowhere. we're all now scanning the area. I see you. You're looking around. Where's this next guy? And we're going to find him here in a second. But just, making sure we're getting a 360 view. Where are the other two teammates that we're dealing with?
Yeah, so here we have a guy. I noticed a guy coming up the zip line, and I call out to him. I say, "Hey, I'm not going to shoot. I'm going to wait for him to get up. And set the traps when you can in this game. Wait till somebody doesn't have an out, so you can get that quick elimination. I mean, these firefights, the time to kill in this game is long. So if you can get somebody and get them down quickly, that's going to be huge for you."
Yeah, actually, you just read my mind and took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say, sort of doing chip damage in this game, especially now, in terms of where we are in the overall course of the game, is really of limited value, right? I mean, you start chipping away at a guy, he's going to take cover, he's going to most likely heal up, and you really haven't accomplished anything other than give your location away. So yeah, that was a nice, easy bait there. The guy comes up, he's got no shot at taking us out. And now we're looking for the third teammate, right? We've killed two. That was another knock, that second one. And I think Monk is the one that actually calls this one out. And here we go again, converging on this guy.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty easy pickings for us. I mean, this team just came at us one at a time. We just got pretty lucky with the way this showed up. But, when we did pick out a guy, we all collapsed. We hit it hard. We want to get it over quickly. Pucks takes a good amount of damage here. I'm able to kind of come in, clean it out. Now he's got to heal up. I try and do a quick loot here. I start struggling with the Xbox console interface. It drops the weapon. I was just trying to open the damn thing. That's something us guys on console have to deal with. But then I'm trying to get my heads out. I'm trying to find out where that other team was, because I don't know if you noticed, we saw another team there. We want to make sure we're not getting third-partied. Trying to get eyes on them while Pucks is healing up and Monk's doing his thing, looting. And I think we saw a glimpse of them as they're fleeing, and we noticed the timer on the zone starting to come down. So we got to start making our way.
Yeah, and that's another good point there, which is, especially in this game, where you can go minutes at a time without seeing folks, it seems, at the slightest hint of a firefight, right, your audio cues, a lot of teams are going to be attracted to that and start pushing. So you don't want to get tunnel vision. You don't want to get stuck using the interface, stuck in some kind of menu trying to loot out for ammo or something like that simultaneously, right? So you want to have one guy who's taking up the sort of outlook position or the lookout position, is what I'm trying to say, and make sure that your guys can loot, but at the same time, if a team's going to roll up on you.
Yeah, and then we're traversing kind of a large open ground here. We have the zone behind us. I mean, for the most part, we knew that the northeast was clear. We came from that way. We've been a very long, prolonged engagement, a lot longer than we normally like to be in. And I don't think there's anybody else here. We saw the other team leaving. We probably would have been hit. But, generally when you're traveling, you're sprinting, a lot of people are heads down. Sometimes that line, there's three of you, can be really spread out. The guy in the front or the guy in the back is easy to get picked off. So you'll want to be close enough to each other where you can support each other if you happen to stumble upon somebody.
Oh, yeah. And now this is going to be a good one, because this is going to be an engagement that illustrates what happens when you play video games with the same dude for the last 15 years. Because you and I, it's going to happen like almost simultaneously here, have the same exact thought process. Monk, I got a guy with damage for 30. I got a guy on another grenade for 100, right? And as soon as Monk utters the word 100, both you and I are like, it is on. Let's go. And we make a hard push here knowing that the guys are weak.
Yeah, it worked out. I mean, we used the terrain to our advantage. We had the high ground. Monk had seemingly an endless supply of grenades. Was able to do some like opening damage, kind of frustrate him. And then we just pushed. I dropped my ultimate here. I mean, I run the Bloodhound. I mean, I love being able to just run in there. The contrast, you really get to see where the guys are at. Use it often. I think a lot of guys leave it on the table, and that's not going to help you. And so here we are, we're scrubbing again. We could have gone south and kept that wall on our right. We decided to run through bunker. That kind of helped us, again, clear that whole north side. We knew we came from the northeast. We're making our way kind of the northwest. We're kind of owning that whole top of the clock of the zone. And here we go. We run into, there's 3 squads left, and we stumble upon 1 squad.
Yeah, who kind of have, they have zone on us. We have to push into that area, but we're going to be methodical about it. And I think really what my thought process here was, you guys are going right. I'm going to try to go left and get into some cover. while also sort of drawing their attention. And I think that really opened up a window. Again, you have your ultimate backup pretty quickly here. You and Monk then can push while those guys are kind of occupied with me, and we can kind of get them weak and take over that area that they were occupying just a few minutes ago.
If you notice, I mean, we started it's a little hard to hear the audio, but if you look at the kill feed, I mean, 3 squads left. Somebody else was shooting, so quickly this became the final battle. We knew that the other 2 teams were still engaging each other, even though we were sort of that third there shooting from side. So at that point, you got to push the advantage. We were kind of set up ourselves in a nice crossfire situation where we took the high ground from the other team. A good call out from Pucks there saying, "Hey, guy, pushing on your right." Monk and I were able to kind of down him, real nice and quick. And you try and get the elimination as soon as possible. Leaving guys out to get rezzed is going to be huge if you leave that on the table for the other team.
Certainly noticed that, sort of this late in the game, there are limited options to res guys, but we've definitely been in situations where whether it's us or another team kind of gets that a really sneaky kind of tag grab and manages to go off and, bring a guy in, and all of a sudden they're sort of back in the game. So it's just emphasizing finishing engagements really as quickly as you possibly can, and taking guys out of the fight, as soon as you can, so guys aren't sort of left on the table there.
So I mean, we were in pretty good position. I didn't really want to leave, but the zone was gonna bring us in here, so we made the call to Monk and we said, "Hey, let's go up. Let's form up on Pucks." As we're moving over, as the ticker happened, we're down to 2 squads. So at that point, it's us and one other squad. If you have even I'd say more than 50% health, I mean, it's kind of hard to come up with a rule of thumb. You want to push, especially if you've already been in an engagement. They're hurting. They're trying to heal too. Push that advantage if you think you have it, and that's what we're trying to do here.
Yeah, I mean, I rolled up on this one guy who was in the corner. I actually didn't even see him at first, but frankly, he was trying to heal up. He was not in a position to engage me, and it was an easy kill. I would have done the same thing even if I wasn't at sort of max health, max armor there for me, just because, if you're putting out damage and that guy can't, he's going to be SOL.
Yeah, and that was it. There was one more guy there. We were able to collapse on it and close out the win. So that's it for episode 1. Hope you guys appreciate the commentary, and we'd love to hear your feedback on the new series.
Oh yeah, don't forget to check us out on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. Links are in the video description below. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Peace!